This is the story of Jessica Edwards, aged 30, a mother to a 7-month-old who was killed and dumped in the bushes by her loving husband, Tahj Hutchinson, aged 22. Tahj got into an argument with his wife Jessica after buying her a guinea pig as a Mother's Day present which she didn't like, thereby causing a serious argument which prompted Tahj to grab a knife, flipped her to the ground, kneel on her neck and her back till she stopped breathing. He then later went ahead to wrap her body in a blanket before dumping her in the bushes. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
A lot of new developments, Ben and Jen. The judge raised Hutchinson's bond to $1.5 million. South Windsor police also releasing.
This story will be taking us to South Windsor, Connecticut. South Windsor is a premier destination for the shopping enthusiast. Situated in northern Connecticut, South Windsor offers many different places to shop and dine. The rate of crime in South Windsor is 20.83 per 1,000 residents during a standard year. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in South Windsor is 1 in 49. Jessica Connie Sue Edwards, age 30, was born in Kingston, Jamaica on January 4, 1991, daughter of Milton and Hope Edwards. She was raised in Jamaica until the age of 7, when she migrated to the United States with her family and settled in Hartford. Jessica attended Hartford and East Hartford public schools and was a graduate of East Hartford High School, class of 2009. After high school she continued her education at Manchester Community College where she earned an associate's degree in early childhood education and most recently had just completed studies to be a respiratory therapist. Jessica was said to have a great sense of humor and always joked with her siblings and friends.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, it really does get sad sometimes when like you see all your friends and stuff like starting families and having kids and you don't have any, but you know what? Get up, wipe those tears, and keep it pushing. Oh!
She was a great person who always wanted to help others and looked for the good in others. Jessica was romantically involved with a young man named Tahj Hutchinson, aged 22. They dated for a period of time and finally got married. Tahj Hutchinson, according to his social media account, is a soldier with the United States Army. He is also from Jamaica. They had lots in common and were happy with each other from the look of things. She got pregnant and it was the best time of their lives. They took nice pictures, enjoyed every bit of it together, and everyone around her were so happy for them together. They looked like a very great couple together. After a while, they had a baby and they both were good parents according to people who were close to them.
Come on, Swingy. Come on, Swingy. Bring me your those fingers. Come on, Swingy. Look, he's coming here.
He weakened out. Yeah,
he coming fast. Go ahead, buddy.
You speeding.
Yeah, slow down, buddy. Oh,
I put it there for him.
Now he like, you know what, I ain't want that much. Okay.
Move it. Wait, leave right there.
Look at that, look at that, look at it.
Oh my God, go sweet boy.
Go train. Go train.
Oh, that's that professional crawling. You see it?
Tahj was seen as a great father according to pictures and videos posted on social media, but things would end up so bad just 7 months after they had the baby. Sometimes on Mother's Day, Tahj got a present for Jessica. Jessica wanted to go to the nail salon and he had given her guinea pigs as a gift on Mother's Day, which she did not like. That caused an argument between the two of them, but she eventually left. The fight didn't stop there, it escalated into the next day, which was May 10th. She didn't want the guinea pig which he has bought, but he would not take no for an answer. Sometimes during that day, there was a scuffle and that led to Tahj grabbing a knife, leading them to wrestle over the weapon. During this period, Tahj knelt on her neck and back until she stopped breathing. That was not all for him. If he wanted to do right, he could have called 911, but he didn't. He wrapped her in a blanket and shoved her into the back of his car. Coincidentally, when Jessica was uncharacteristically unresponsive to her family's messages on May 10th, they went to the house and saw him covering something in his car with a blanket. Jessica's sister, who was at the house, felt she saw a body in a blanket. She decided to investigate, but Tahj sped off before she could look. Jessica's family and Tahj both reported her missing to the police on May 10th. But investigators were suspicious of her husband almost from the start. Sometimes after midnight, Tahj then showed up at the East Hartford Police Headquarters, barefoot, shortly before midnight to report his wife missing. When asked where Jessica was, He told them that she had left in the morning with someone else, but he didn't know who. It was so suspicious because he never asked for updates on his wife's disappearance and instead focused a conversation with officers on airsoft rifles. He also said scratches on his face were from putting new brake pads on his truck, yet the truck didn't appear to have ever been worked on. They took notice of how seemingly unemotional he was about his wife's disappearance and the fact that he didn't tell his own parents she was missing. Her sister told them what she had seen on the day she disappeared. Officers searched the couple's condo for signs of a struggle and didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Days after she was declared missing, she was being looked for everywhere possible.
Friends and family are still searching for a missing mother from South Windsor. They gathered at Hartford at Riverside Park today to continue looking for Jessica Edwards. It's been a week since the 30-year-old was last seen by her family. South Windsor police are working with state and federal authorities to try to track her down.
I'll be meeting with the town manager and the police chief tomorrow, and we're going to look at all the resources that we have to try to help in this effort to bring Jessica home safely.
If you know anything about Jessica's whereabouts, call police.
Tahj went online to post this message. It reads, "It's another lonely and worrisome night without you, my love. Son, and I miss you so much. I don't have an appetite to eat or sleep knowing that you aren't here with me. Every time I came home you were always there taking care of our beautiful son that we created. Whenever I was down you always lifted me up. I've never even been so many days without you. My heart is broken right now, shattered, and my emotions all mixed up. Please, 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 wherever you are, come back safely. I love you and need you so much, and our son worries about you too. I feel like he barely wants to eat. Please, I love you so much." By May 20th, law enforcement had narrowed in on a wooded area in East Hartford where they believed Jessica's body might be after investigators spent days poring over surveillance camera footage to piece together a timeline of Jessica's last movements and Tahj's whereabouts around the time of her disappearance. A day later, they were lucky to find what they were looking for. They found the body of Jessica Edwards laying in the bushes. That afternoon, the state's chief medical examiner confirmed the body was Jessica's by a birthmark on her right shoulder. Tahj was arrested and he would later confess to the killing.
We're following breaking news. New documents just released on the death of Jessica Edwards. Today, her husband will head to court charged in her death. NBC Connecticut's Jennifer Joas live for us in Manchester with all the late breaking details. Jen?
Judge raised Hutchinson's bond to $1.5 million. South Windsor police also releasing an arrest warrant this morning, where in it police say Hutchinson admitting to killing Edwards during an argument. Now you can see behind me here outside of their home graduation balloons and candles as Edwards was supposed to graduate next month.
I feel empty. Her mom feels empty. I feel like I lost my best friend. I feel like I just died with her, honestly.
Family members of Jessica Edwards showed up in numbers for 22-year-old Tahj Hutchinson's arraignment at Manchester Superior Court. Prior to the hearing, community members stood outside with signs, hoping Hutchinson is denied bail. Magenta Ashley, a longtime friend of Edwards, telling Fox 61 she is just speechless, wanting to know how and why Hutchinson lied during the duration Edwards was gone.
How can someone pretend that they didn't know what was going on with her, and all this time they knew what the heck was going on? Like, you must have played it out real good for thinking nobody was going to come out and do nothing.
And the arrest warrant, it states the day before Mother's Day, Hutchinson bought Edwards guinea pigs as a gift and she was angry about it. On Mother's Day, their argument led to a physical confrontation. According to police, he said he pushed her, which caused her ear to bleed. The next day, on Monday morning, according to the warrant, their arguing continued, and this time, she said Edwards hit him in the head with a laptop, grabbed a kitchen knife, and he pinned her to the ground. Eventually, she stopped moving and died. Later that same day, Edwards' sister went to Hutchinson's home on Cinnamon Springs Road in South Windsor. Police say she told them she saw in the trunk of his Jeep what appeared to be a blanket covering a body. As she demanded him to open up the trunk, Hutchinson sped off. She also told police she found divorce papers filled out by Edwards but was never filed. In the documents, he went on to say he drove to a random GPS location and dragged the body to a wooded area, which is where Edwards was eventually found on Friday by Driver Road in East Hartford. Corinne Prescott, a spokesperson for the family and founder of Power Up Manchester, sharing strong words in court.
He should be denied bail the same way the family was denied the truth when they asked him what time J.E. left the house.
The warrant explained Hutchinson's statements not lining up with what really happened. The following Tuesday, after Hutchinson says he dumped Edwards' body, police say he never asked for updates on his wife's disappearance, and even asked officers about Connecticut laws regarding airsoft and pellet guns. Police saying they found this strange as he was more concerned about that than finding his missing wife. The chief medical examiner's office revealed Edwards died from compression to her neck and torso. Hutchinson is due back in court next month.
He explained to them how he killed her and how he dumped the body in the woods before he went to declare her missing at the police station. He was charged with manslaughter in the first degree. The charge did not sit well with the family of Jessica, so they fought as much as they could to upgrade that charges to murder. Months later, Tahj Hutchinson, who was initially charged with the first-degree manslaughter of Jessica Edwards, has had that charge upgraded to murder. Risk of injury to a child and tampering with evidence charges have also been added. Her family were very happy with this news.
The husband of a South Windsor mother has now officially been charged with her murder. Charges were upgraded today in the disappearance and the death of Jessica Edwards.
It's the development her family has been waiting months for, but as NBC Connecticut's Mike Massaro reports, they're finding out firsthand just how slow the wheels of justice can turn.
Today, the family of Jessica Edwards arrived here at Hartford Superior Court, grateful that heavier charges have been levied against the man accused of killing their loved one. Jessica Edwards' mother says what's transpired in the last 7 months is a nightmare that won't go away.
No one should have to go through something like this. Nobody should.
Jessica Edwards was first discovered missing May 10th. Her husband, 22-year-old Tahj Hutchinson, initially claimed she got into a car that morning with friends and never returned. Police doubted that story and searched areas in South Windsor, Manchester, and East Hartford, finally finding her body in a wooded East Hartford area May 21st. Hutchinson was arrested that evening. He later confessed to having a physical altercation that led to Edwards' death. Now, after months of investigation, the initial charge of manslaughter has been upgraded to murder.
I was happy. I was elated. Finally, something has been, I feel like something has been done, something is being done.
I think that should have been the charge from the beginning. So I believe they gathered enough evidence just to make sure that their case was going to be solid.
Hutchinson also had charges of risk of injury to a child and tampering with evidence added. The Edwards family arrived at court today expecting to see Hutchinson face these charges, but for reasons unclear, the Cheshire Correctional Facility was unable to get him to the virtual hearing room.
It's just frustrating, you know, we came out here and we wanted to see something happen to progress the case, and it didn't happen that way for us today.
Judge Hope Seeley has rescheduled the hearing for December 20th at 2:30.
I'll wait. We'll be here next week. I want to see justice served.
The Edwards family says it will continue to attend every hearing until this concludes. Meanwhile, Hutchinson is being held at the Cheshire Correctional Facility on $1.5 million bond.
This was a totally uncalled for event. The 7-month-old baby will have to grow up without a mother and a father in prison. What a very senseless crime. All in the name of a guinea pig. No woman should ever go through something like this. Her family remembers her as a loving, caring, and great person. We do hope Jessica Edwards gets the justice she deserves soon. May Jessica's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.